Welcome, everybody. I was just asking as one course, Pasano, if we should start with chanting first, or should we do the precepts first? And he was telling me that we always start with the meritorious actions first. So we'll be taking the precepts. This is completely voluntary. It's on page 72. As a start of practicing, community practicing together, and this is, again, this is voluntary. It's lovely to bow together. And one way of doing this is to kind of just look at the side of your eye and bow when the person on either side of you is bowing. And this is just practicing community harmony, if you will. I will also just call out vows. This is something that happens in Thailand as support of the community's action together. So.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. 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 Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi. Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi. Dhammāṃ saranam gacchāmi. Dhammāṃ saranam gacchāmi. Sanghāṃ saranam gacchāmi. Sanghāṃ saranam gacchāmi. Dutiyampi buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi. Dutiyampi buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi. Dutiyampi dhammāṃ saranam gacchāmi. Dutiyampi dhammāṃ saranam gacchāmi. Dutiyampi sanghāṃ saranam gacchāmi. Dutiyampi sanghāṃ saranam gacchāmi. Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi. Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi. Tatiyampi dhammāṃ saranam gacchāmi. Tatiyampi dhammāṃ saranam gacchāmi. Tatiyampi sanghāṃ saranam gacchāmi. Tatiyampi sanghāṃ saranam gacchāmi. Tisaranagamanaṃ nititaṃ. Panatipāta veramani sikāpadaṃ samadhiyāmi. Panatipāta veramani sikāpadaṃ samadhiyāmi. And to take the precept to refrain from taking the life of any living creature. And to take the precept to refrain from taking the life of any living creature. Adinādhana veramani sikāpadaṃ samadhiyāmi. And to take the precept to refrain from taking that which is not given. And to take the precept to refrain from taking that which is not given. Kame sumichachara veramani sikāpadaṃ samadhiyāmi. Kame sumichachara veramani sikāpadaṃ samadhiyāmi. And to take the precept to refrain from sexual misconduct. And to take the precept to refrain from sexual misconduct. Musavada veramani sikāpadaṃ samadhiyāmi. Musavada veramani sikāpadaṃ samadhiyāmi. And take the precept to refrain from false and harmful speech. And to take the precept to refrain from false and harmful speech. Suramerayam majapamadatana veramani sikāpadaṃ samadhiyāmi. Suramerayam majapamadatana veramani sikāpadaṃ samadhiyāmi. And take the precept to refrain from consuming intoxicating drink and drugs which lead to carelessness. And take the precept to refrain from consuming intoxicating drink and drugs which lead to carelessness. Imani pancha sikāpadāni sīlena sukating yanti sīlena bhoga sampata sīlena niputing yanti tasamā sīlaṃ visotaye. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So we begin with having taken the refuges and precepts, we could
begin our day long with a morning chanting, which is I think it's traditionally when beginning something that is auspicious, meritorious, those taking of refuges and precepts are a way of laying a foundation for goodness. And everything rises up out of these refuges and integrity. And then the chanting is a way of recollecting those qualities of the refuges and the wholesome qualities that we want to establish in our hearts. And especially as we're beginning a day-long meditation, these are very skillful tools of being able to lay a solid foundation for what we want to be cultivating. So we could begin by doing the morning chanting. It begins on page 18. one. Soakato Bhagavata Dhammo, the teaching so completely explained by him. Dhammam Namasami, I bow to the Dhamma. Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho, the Blessed One's disciples who have practiced well. Sangham Namami, I bow to the Sangha. Namayang Buddha Sabhagavato Pupapakanamakarang Karomase.
Now let's pay preliminary homage to the Buddha.
Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Namayang Buddha Bituting Karomase.
Let us chant in praise of the Buddha.
Yo so Tathagato Abraham Samma Sambuddho. The Tathagata is the pure one, the perfectly enlightened one. Huika Karanam Sampanno. He is impeccable in conduct and understanding. Sugato, the accomplished one. Lokavidu, the knower of the worlds. Anukaro Purisa Dhammasarati. He trains perfectly those who wish to be trained. Sattva Deva Manusadam. He is teacher of gods and humans. Buddho Bhagava, he is awake and holy. Yo imam lokam sadevakam samarakam sabrahmakam. In this world with its gods, demons, and kind spirits, Sasamana Brahmanim Bhajam Sadeva Manusam Sayam Abinya Sajikatava Bhavedesi. Its seekers and sages, celestial and human beings, he has by deep insight revealed the truth. Yodam Desesi Adikalayanam Mache Kalayanam Pariyosana Kalayanam. He has pointed out the Dhamma, beautiful in the beginning, beautiful in the middle, beautiful in the end. Satam Savayam Jatam Kevala Paripurnam Parisundam Brahmacharyam Bhakasesi. He has explained the spiritual life of complete purity in its essence and conventions. Dhammaham Bhagavantam Abhipujayami Dhammaham Bhagavantam Sirasa Namami. I chant my praise to the Blessed One. I bow my head to the Blessed One. Namayang Dhamma Bituting Karomase.
Now let us chant in praise of of the Dhamma.
Yoso samagato bhagavata Dhammo. The Dhamma is well expounded by the Blessed One. Sandidiko, apparent here and now. Akaliko, timeless. Ehipasiko, encouraging investigation. Opanaiko, leading inwards. Pajatamveditavo, in unity, to be experienced individually by the wise. Dhammaham dhammam abhipujayami, dhammaham dhammam sirasa namami. I chant my praise to this teaching. I bow my head to this truth. Namayang sangha pituting karomase.
Let us chant our praise to the Sangha.
Yoso Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho. They are the Blessed One's disciples who have practiced well. Ujjupatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, who have practiced directly. Nyayapatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, who have practiced insightfully. Samijjipatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, those who practice with integrity. Yadiganam jattari purisayukani yatta purisapugala. That is the forebears, the 8 kinds of noble beings. Esa bhagavato savaka sangho. These are the Blessed One's disciples. Agunayo, such ones are worthy of gifts. Agunayo, worthy of hospitality. Nakinayo, worthy of offerings. Anjali Karanyo, worthy of respect. Anudaram Bunyake Karmokasara. They give occasion for incomparable goodness to arise in the world. Dhammaham sangham abhipujayami, dhammaham sangham sirasa namami. I chant my praise to this Sangha. I bow my head to this Sangha. Go to page 35, do the reflections on universal well-being. May I abide in well-being, in freedom from affliction, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may I maintain well-being in myself. May everyone abide in well-being, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may they maintain well-being in themselves. May all beings be released from all suffering, and may they not be parted from the good fortune they have attained. When they act upon intention, all beings action, and its results will be their own. All actions with intention, be they skillful or harmful, of such acts they will be the heirs.
So this morning I take this opportunity to reflect on the Dhamma, a very unusual day, a special day here in Portland, this new Dhamma Center, and Ajahn Sumedho, Ajahn Pasano, myself, we were all together with Luang Por years ago in Thailand. All three of us helped to establish the international monastery, Wat Padanachat. Now, Ajahn Pasano is the head monk of Abhayagiri in California. Ajahn Miradhammo, head monk of T. Sarana Monastery near Ottawa. And Ajahn Sumedho, retired. So I asked one of the senior monks in Bangkok years ago, I said, do Buddhist monks ever retire? And he said, no. So I'm using that term loosely. It just means I'm no longer head monk of any place. So I was very, to see so many people here interested in teaching of the Buddha, the Dhamma. And this word, the Dhamma, is of course it's a Pali word. And the best word to define it or describe it in English words is reality. I consider it, the Buddha is pointing a way to awaken to reality, what's real, and away from the delusions that we might have in our own mind about ourselves and the world we live in. And of course, reality can't be defined it's not a form, it doesn't have a particular color, shape, or size, or whatever. It's a the way things are. It's the ultimate reality that we begin to recognize for ourselves. So the point of meditation then is to develop a way of awakening ourselves to what's real rather than our own particular feelings or opinions, views, perceptions, cultural biases, ethnic biases, whatever biases we have. They are conventional forms, but they're not ultimately real or true. So in my own experiments with this practice, my life, years ago, when I was a graduate student in California, I was in a seminar about dealing with Mahatma Gandhi. And I was very impressed, very inspired by Mahatma Gandhi. And anyway, his autobiography was my experiments with truth. So I read his autobiography, and I recognized that here was a human being who actually lived in my lifetime, who used his life as an experiment. And I thought, that's what I'm going to do. Because at that time I was the most bored, unhappy individual, graduate student.